Hi, good evening. A very happy Independence Day to all my fellow listeners here and the viewers of this meet today. Thank you so much, Pravina, for having me here. The topic for today's talk couldn't be any better than the day itself today, the Independence Day, where we need to be independent of certain mindsets and be open to include active play in the way we see early childhood education. Welcome. Today, we are diving deep into how early childhood education must evolve for the 21st century. We will explore the sportize, that is, bringing sport to everyday learning philosophy, integrating active play into preschool learning, and this is backed just not by a thought, but by compelling research and real world examples. Join me as we envision a brighter, more active future for our youngest learners. Let me begin with a memory. Imagine this: a dusty open field, barefoot children, shouts of "Ko, run, run," echoing across the air. One child darts left, another one makes a move, and others are crouched, ready to sprint. There is no trophy, no screen, no reward, no adult telling them how. Yes, this is the childhood that you and me have probably lived. However, there is something that is amiss in today's time. There was a symphony of learning in play even then. Fast forward to today, we will see children indoors, swinging on screens, swiping heads down, fingers tapping. The body is still, the mind is distracted. We are not just witnessing a change in childhood, we are witnessing a loss of movement, a loss of spontaneity, a loss of something fundamental to being human. So, it's imperative that we explore why active play matters now more than ever, how traditional childhood games shaped us in powerful ways, and how we can create and nurture a similar environment given the other challenges that we face, like acute weather conditions, shortage of time with parents, nuclear families, and whatnot. We should be pondering a thought about redefining early childhood education to reclaim the joy, movement, and the real purpose of learning. As Albert Einstein once said, play is the highest form of research. Let's dig into what that research truly means. So, now let's understand what is this play in early childhood? Play is child led exploration. Let the child be free. Let the child be inquisitive. Let the child go and pick an apple and say, "Ah, it's red, but I like green apples." Or if a child comes and says, "Ah, that's a blue apple instead of a red apple," don't limit their imagination. Try to reason why the child thought the apple should be blue and not red. And what is that associative memory with the green apple that the child brings with them? Play is not just idle time, it's child's natural way of learning. It's spontaneous, voluntarily, and intrinsically motivated, allowing children to direct their own discoveries. So honor that. To all my fellow, people who are into early childhood educations, preschool, curriculum direction, please give way to child led exploration. Treat it as a process and not a product. A preschool is a process, it's work in progress always, it's never a product. The emphasis is and should be on the journey and not the destination. Children engage in play for the sheer joy of it, fostering creativity and problem solving without external pressure. Active engagement, a very, very important aspect. Whether building a tower, pretending to be a superhero, or splashing in puddles, or playing in the splash pools, play involves active participation, engaging both mind and body in meaningful ways. In our times, as I was talking, when we were young, maybe 2 decades, 3 decades back, there was minimal adult intervention. We were led to play on roads, streets, get hurt, and manage it on our own. Another challenge that we feel these days is that the parent and the parenting style has become very soft. When I say soft, I do not in any way endorse any means of coercive ways of making a child learn or correct their mistakes. But still, we have to be open to the idea that when the child plays, the child involves it himself or herself. They are building memory, they are building language, they are learning how to control and evolve their emotions. So please bring in active engagement, and that might mean a bit scratches, a bit of dirty clothes, or just a lot of sweat. Don't just panic about it. Our kids do not need an AC controlled room with a digital screen. What they need is a place where they can just be. They need to build that mental agility, leadership, negotiation skills, emotional regulation, and patience. For example, when we played hide and seek, we learned spatial awareness, timing, and strategic thinking. Coco taught us teamwork, split second decision making, and planning under pressure. So, how do we bring in this memory, this same concept in today's world faced by the challenges? We will evolve this in the next slide. Before that, also I wanted to highlight the core benefits of play: cognitive development, language and communication, social emotional growth, physical well being, creativity, and innovation all go hand in hand. We are, as I said, marred by challenges of extreme weather conditions and limited time available with us as parents. Then what do? We evolve spaces for children that are meant for children. How many times it has happened with you? Because it very frequently happens with me as a parent. On a weekend when I'm in a mall and I have to go shop, I have to just tag along the child with me, whether or not they are interested, or they are having the energy to be a part of my shopping spree that day, or the kind of investment I want to make into myself for that day. It's just a no-win situation for both of us, me and my child. And the only option at that mall I probably have is a soft play area full of balls, random things kept here and there, where I can just let my child play for an hour, worried if he or she will be safe, if he or she will be learning something uh, constructive, or even if it will be a pure fun for them or not, because half my mind is always going to be what the child is doing there. So it's very, very important that we develop those safe, those creative, those nurturing spaces and experiences. And that's exactly what we, as a preschool brand, as a daycare brand, and as an after school kids gymnastic academy at Sportize do. We bring physical development right in the right state of frame in the with a world class infrastructure for the children. There is a sprawling floor dedicated only for children to climb, to crawl, to hop, to run, to develop the basics what their body needs: hand to eye coordination, gross motor skills, core stability, all done in a beautiful way in a musical environment, whether it is a toddler gymnastic where we are having adults leading the supervision, or where the child independently practices with the coaches. It's a fun out and out. Brain development. Neuroscientists tell us that movement drives brain growth. And that's exactly why, for all our preschoolers and daycare kids, we have a free mandatory 45 minutes of daily active play incorporated in their daily learning, in their daily schedule of their preschool and daycare journey with us. When you leave the children with us, we make sure that the child is leading and learning with a purpose in a very playful way. We are working on their social and emotional growth through play. We are making children experience both victory and defeat. They are learning to negotiate rules, mediate conflicts, empathize, and self regulate. One scrapped knee teaches more about resilience than 100 motivational posters. Stuart Brown, a psychologist, had said, play is not the opposite of work, it is the foundation of all growth. Now, what are these types of play? What am I actually talking about? It's an actual spectrum of engagement where preschool should not just be a place where kids are received, and, you know, driven into random activities in terms of having fancy words like sensory plays, cognitive skill, behavioral modulation, and stuff like that. No toys, no blocks, no sensory play can be as effective as the child's natural inclination, which is at this young age, is of having a playful mind. Unoccupied play, which is just random movements here and there without a clear purpose. Set them in your circle time. Solitary play. Child plays alone, focused on their own activity. Individual activities like block building, sorting. That is very, very important. Onlooker play. Child observes others playing without joining. That's exactly what happens when the kids in the gym are watching the other child crawling and learning and taking a pause to get ready for their own turn. Parallel play. A natural forward inclination from onlooker play. Once they have seen, they have learned, and they now want to participate. So, this will be children playing side by side with similar toys, activities, but we do not have any direct interaction with them. Then comes very important aspect of it, the associative play. Children interact, sharing materials, and there is no common goal though. They are still sharing. They do not understand what they are doing, but they are learning how to build an associative memory and have a motivation and attention skill. Then comes cooperative play. Children play together towards a common goal, often with rules and roles, which is being structured in their kids' gym. Understanding these stages helps educators and parents provide appropriate environments and support for healthy development. Now, what is the educator's role? It should always be facilitating, not directing. And that's what Sporti's philosophy has always been, to observe and adapt your learning as per the child's way. Skillful educators keenly observe children's play to understand their interest and developmental needs, and then adapt the environment and the learnings by gentle offering gentle guidance. We have to provide rich environments, diverse, open-ended materials, open-ended flows. That's why you will see every sportized facility with open classroom structure, which will spark curiosity, give them space to run, to be themselves, and allow for varied play experiences, such as natural elements like blocks, art supplies, finger paints, sand play, free play, pretend playstations. That's all what we bring into a child's learning on a daily basis. Scaffold learning, introducing newer challenges or questions to extend play. For example, if we did a very creative storytelling about the tortoise and the hare, and what happened in the end when the hare went to sleep and the tortoise won the race, having alternative questions, asking them what would have changed if the tortoise, probably had given up midway, or the hare would have not stopped and slept and completed the race in one go. You get such beautiful, immersive answers from your kids. Just have that moment to do that way of learning parameters, setting those kind of ideas with them. Protect playtime. Advocate for ample, uninterrupted playtime within the curriculum, recognizing its crucial role in holistic child development. Parents as play partner. Not only as a preschool, we are training our teachers to be those facilitating educators. We are also inculcating the joy of imparting this kind of learning with the parents. Join the fun. And that is why a toddler gymnastic program where kids from 18 months to 3.5 of years, assisted by a trusted adult, joining in the gym area in the most colorful, in the most playful, in the most musical way you can imagine, engaging actively with their gross motor skill development, hand to eye coordinations, core stabilities, following the lead, and leading their imagination, guided by gentle interactions of parents and the coaches. We are creating opportunities. We are having a designated play space. And we ask the parents to create the same thing, to have a designated play space at home and provide age appropriated open-ended toys that encourage curiosity and exploration. Limiting screen time. We are very, very focused on doing that as a mission of Sportize to de-digitalize and sportize, that is, bring sport into their life, and we encourage the parents to do the same, bringing in physical movement, imaginative play over passive screen consumption. Though we all are guilty when we are caught up in certain tasks, or we have an important deadline or some chore to finish, we have been found guilty to hand over that iPad or the mobile, or open that TV in front of the child to let them be glued so that we can have some time for ourselves. But it is time we realize that this is going to pose a very big challenge in the way we want to shape the future of our kids. So please limit screen time, dear parents. Embracing mess and mistakes. Allow for experimentation and failures. Let them spread the clay. Let them have the Play-Doh all over the place. Let their splittery, splattery, colorful handprints be on your floors or walls for some time. They can always be cleaned. But this is the time when they learn, they observe, they feel validated. So please embrace all the mess and mistakes. Mess is often a sign of deep engagement. So please, please, please embrace mess and mistakes. Addressing the play deficit. Now, our society's, as I said, increasing focus on early academics is inadvertently robbing children of the very experiences that build the foundation for lifelong learning. Evidence suggests a play deficit as structured learning encroaches on free play. This trend can hinder essential development areas like problem solving, resilience, and social skills. When we say play school, when we say play school, the question is, where is the play in the play school? Hence, the policy and advocacy for play through community initiatives, teacher training, public awareness, and curriculum integration. And that is why we at Sportize have developed a proprietary Sportize curriculum that is focusing on the numeracy, literacy, communication, active rhymes and storytelling, as well as general awareness of the world around us, and physical activity, physical fitness, active play being at the core of its center. Advocating for play based learning at a policy level is crucial, and we are proudly imparting it. This includes supporting initiatives that protect playtime in schools, fund play friendly spaces, and educate communities on its importance. So, the key takeaways: play is foundational, it's not just fun, it's fundamental to holistic child development across cognitive, social,
Aditi, have a
emotional,
sip of
and physical
water.
domains. Active role for adults, educators, and parents are crucial facilitators, creating rich environments and protecting time for child led exploration. Advocate for play. Combat the play deficit by championing policies and practices that prioritize play based learning in homes and institutes, especially the preschools. Igniting joy, nurturing futures. By embracing the power of play, we equip our youngest learners with the essential skills and resilience needed to thrive in a complex world. Let's champion play together. Having spoken about the crisis, I also wanted to spend some factual data around that so that the theory bit that we have spoken, it can be established in fact. The actual active time. Most preschoolers today spend less than 1 hour in active play, which is far below recommendations. So what is the recommended active play? The World Health Organization recommends at least 3 hours of active play daily for preschoolers. Vis-a-vis the daily screen time. Children aged 2 to 5 now average over 3 hours of screen time daily instead of the active play time that is recommended, which is hindering their holistic development, been published by Common Sense Media in 2025. This imbalance of active play versus the daily screen time leads to
Mr.
reduced motor
Aditi,
skills, social emotional delays, and diminished.
Miss Aditi,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yes,
Have a sip of water, Miss Aditi. That's
yeah, okay.
fine. Have a sip of water.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. So, this imbalance is leading to reduced motor skills, social emotional delays, and diminished creativity. It is a critical challenge we must address. Screens have swarmed the physical aspect of learning. Even toddlers are being given tablets as pacifiers. Screen offer dopamine driven instant gratification. Physical play builds delayed gratification and focus. Screens are passive, play is active. Screen isolates, play connects. In the long term, children raised on passive entertainment struggle to focus for long periods, handle boredom, navigate social situations, and a child who only plays virtual games may not know at all how to win or lose gracefully in real life. Think about it. Childhood then and now, a personal reflection. When I was a kid, there was unstructured outdoor play, climbing trees, running, inventing games, spontaneous exploration and adventure. For my kids and many others, often indoors, structured or screen based, limited spontaneous exploration. At Sportize, we see less stamina and social confidence in kids who are coming to us. Thankfully, for our philosophy, they go back home as active, confident, and more happy and playful children. The shift in the way of parenting and the way the childhood is being shaped is evident. However, it is not too late for us to rethink and come out with creative solutions. Sportize vision. It's active play at the core of early learning, active lessons, engagement, curriculum goals, and assessment. At Sportize, we seamlessly blend physical activity into preschool routines. Our philosophy aligns with research from many important places and recommended sightings from WHO, emphasizing guided and free play to develop crucial 21st century skills. Active play supports cognitive, social, emotional, and physical domains, simultaneously preparing children for a dynamic future. How Sportize implements active play daily? We have structured sessions, engaging obstacle courses, dynamic team games, imaginative movement based on storytelling activities in our preschool. The free play zones, dedicated areas with climbing structures, balancing beams, and open spaces for imaginative play. Teacher guided play. Educators scaffold learning through insightful questions and create challenges during play sessions. Our comprehensive approach ensures every child experiences the benefit of active learning daily. Evidence from research why active play works. Increased engagement. Playful learning boosts motivation and retention compared to traditional methods. It enhances executive functions. Physical activity improves attention and impulse control, critical for school readiness. Fosters key skills. Guided play nurtures creativity, problem solving, and social skills, essential for lifelong skills. We rush to teach our 3 years old phonics, math, coding, what and what not. The market is full of it. But what if they don't know how to climb or fall or resolve a fight over a toy? We have made childhood sadly into a resume building activity. But the truth is, we cannot fast forward growth. We can only nurture it. It's time to step away from the race and reconnect with rhythms that support actual human development. I've had many stories from Sportize families. A parent once told me that since joining Sportize, my child's focus has dramatically improved. They sleep better and are noticeably happier and more engaged at home. The teachers tell me it's incredible to see the enhanced peer cooperation and rich language used among children during the active play sessions where learning is truly coming alive. We've witnessed countless transformations, like the shy child who blossomed into a confident leader through team games and imaginative role play activities at Sportize, showcasing the profound impact of active and joyful learning. The bigger picture, active play as a catalyst for educational reform, moving beyond screen babysitting and road towards joyful embodied experiences, preparing children not just academically, but as resilient, creative, and socially adept individuals ready for tomorrow's challenges. Sportize serves as a compelling model for 21st century early childhood education, inspiring vital change and advocating for a global shift. To make lasting change, we must reimagine education itself, and that's where Sportize champions. Curriculum that moves, movement based learning, jumping for counting, acting for language. We are not just teaching about the body, we are using all the body to teach. Teacher as a play facilitator. Sportize educators are trained to observe play for signs of development. We are shifting from sitting quietly and listening to engaging, exploring, and expressing. We're creating nurturing learning environments. Preschools like should have outdoor spaces. If not, or if the weather is a constraint, then in-house, inbuilt, dedicated space, a sprawling floor, a sprawling space dedicated for climbing walls, for balancing on the beams, for crawling under the wired structured pathways. Risk is not the enemy, it's the teacher. The kid needs to learn, and when they don't learn, it's the biggest failure of us as a humanity when they don't learn how to empower themselves with very important skills like emotion management and memory building. Parent education empower families to value unstructured time, offer screen free toolkits, have to have some family games, some story led role plays, DIY sports. We advocate for policies that make play mandatory in early years to create safe public play spaces, reducing curriculum overload in preschools. There's some discussion points, challenges, and opportunities. How can parents balance screen time and active play effectively within their homes? We have given many suggestions for that in our previous slide itself, where we say that parents can be a part of active play, have a family sports day out, play a sport together, join them for their gym classes, just be kids with them, explore how you were when you were a kid, be a kid with your kid, and you will see many sparks coming alive. Policymakers and schools have to have an important role in promoting and integrating active play into daily routines. If you need any crash course in it, Sportize is your place to be. How can educators be adequately supported and empowered? This is by imparting them adequate training through in a playful, active curriculum with confidence and creativity. These are some vital questions which need a collective community rethinking. And if you are someone who thinks and agrees with the same philosophy, please do connect and try to understand from us what our learning and journey has been so far. To conclude, we stand at a crossroad. We can continue down a path where our children sit still, glued to screens, overwhelmed and underdeveloped. Or we can choose a path where they run, fall, laugh, fight, make up, build, break, and learn through play as nature intended. Imagine a world where a 5-year old is applauded not just for reading early, but for showing kindness in a game, where a scrapped knee is seen as a badge of honor, not a scary parent fearing if there will be an infection or it is a failure of supervision at a play school or a gym area. Let's make that world. It's a happy talent to know how to play. Let's gift our children that talent again. Let them play, let them live, let them learn. Embracing Sporti's active play philosophy means redefining what learning truly means for today's children. Together, we can nurture healthier and more capable future generations. Let's champion play as the foundational cornerstone of early childhood education in the 21st century, creating a world where every child thrives through movement and joy. Thank you so much. For more information, visit us on www.sportize.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Aditi. If you can stop sharing the screen, please. Thank you. Yeah, wonderful explanation, ma'am, on this topic. And, the Spota is doing a wonderful work. I have received a couple of questions from the other speakers.
Sure.
What makes a great early childhood teacher? What
Uh,
makes a
yeah.
great early childhood teacher?
Childhood teacher, is it?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes, an early childhood educator is someone who can realize the importance of leading by example, of learning and bringing things to an experience where, everything is child led. And to understand that there is has to be only a soft instruction, a teacher who can pause, who can learn to unlearn. We have been traditionally taught just to go about, things the way they are. But a successful childhood educator would be someone who can first learn their own learning and bring creativity to the spaces. One who's ready to observe, spend a moment, and sparkle the wonder that early learners are bringing to their daily life. When we went to school, we were 5, probably 6 years old. These days, kids as young as 2 years old are attending preschools. So we have to come down to a level of being a kid ourselves. So a teacher keeping the focus on creating an emotional sympathy with the child while being very observant of how they are learning, what they are saying, how they are moving, how they are behaving, and then adapting their learning to bring about a next level, a next future of understanding and establishing facts with them would definitely be successful.
So, this is the technology era. How can we prepare young children for a globalized world?
They have to first learn, as I said, to
Mhm.
have emotional and reasonable and logical thinking abilities, and these will only come when we can, move away from the screen, though it is not possible. But however,
Mhm.
with the way the sportize philosophy, going by the sportize philosophy, or any creative way where we can be limiting that screen time and bringing about the active play in their daily life, they will be better citizens. The global world is going to be a lot about mental stress. It's all going to be a digital AI world. And if they don't know how to control their emotions, or how to differentiate, very importantly, between the virtual world and the real world, the success is very, very unlikely. So we have to groom them, we have to bring mindful practices into learning, we have to bring physical play into learning, we have to bring a lot of lessons that nature and humanity brings at a holistic level. Technology is evolving, it's going to evolve at a very, very fast rate in the next decade. It has already, it's a different world that we are living all together, and it's going to be much, much different. However, as long as we can root these children to be grounded, to be emotionally and socially secure of their feelings, of their presence, there'll be no challenge, and they'll be the ones who will be leading by example in the near future.
Right, ma'am. So, how can we balance testing and teaching in early childhood education?
Let there be no test. Let there be only be play. Why do you
Okay.
need to test on anything?
Yes.
This is,
Yeah.
I said, this is not a race. Let's not put
That's
a
yeah.
medal or
That's
reward to
not the
the
sport.
joys of learning.
True, true, absolutely. So that
Yeah.
was the question, I received. So I had to ask you. So yeah, this is another. I don't know, like whether it's an appropriate question. Like maybe they, yeah. So how can we help young children develop self-control and focus? Why do
This
they
will
need to
come.
be self-controlled?
See,
Yeah.
very young children, when we talk about self control, and discipline, many parents come and ask me also, what is the way? Okay, everything is okay, good, but how do you go about bringing that discipline in the children? So these are small things, that charity begins at home. Small things that you can do is leading by example, establishing
Right.
routines for your children, making them, patiently wait for their turn, not giving up when the child screams for something immediately, or instant gratification, motivations that we have started giving to our kids. If you do this, you will get that. to come out of that mood. This is totally on us. How do we do? And often, the child doesn't need any discipline. They're just self-expressing themselves and are often frustrated because they feel nobody's understanding or listening to them. So if we take a moment to understand why we feel that the child is needing that discipline or that kind of regulation, so rather than regulating the child himself or herself, we must first see what is triggering to that kind of a response from the child, and it will be a cakewalk.
Right, ma'am. So a very interesting question I have received. What will early childhood education look like in the future?
It will be a set of very, very creative, sparkful children who will navigate their way because of this, conscious awakening that is coming into parents and education sector per se, of moving away from the screens, right, yet making up with the need of the times, which is having also the technology, and also now how not to be abused by it. So these children are already leading by example. I'll give you an example. There's a young girl who comes to me and I said, hi little one. And she's the one who comes to my toddler gymnastic plan, and she looked at me and say, hi ma'am, but I'm not the little one, I'm the strong one, because I'm gonna go and do my gym class in a bit. How can you call me a little young one? And I was startled. I was like, no, of course, you're not the little one. You are the strong one. You are the brave one. And you are the one, who's going to be shaping up the future. So that's exactly what the children are going to evolve as long as we understand our responsibility, right? How we are conscious now about our environment, use of plastic, or using alternative ways of energy. We also have to save and invest into how we are raising our kids and what is the kind of environment we are providing them. These children are very smart. The children already know many things. We just have to be patient and available for them to listen, observe, and participate with them.
Absolutely, ma'am. Miss Aditi, School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. I know those were repetitive. You have covered all the points in your PPT itself. Anything else you want to mention, ma'am? Thank you for sharing your knowledge on our platform.
It was a great opportunity. I'm glad I could connect. And, whether or not I represent Sportize as an organization, as a parent, and as a responsible adult for many, many future generations that are being raised alongside our children, it's a humble request to just go back to our own childhood, not to be faced by parenting challenges, but to trust the process, trust the children, just make ourselves and spaces available to them, and the world is, will, and always will unfold as a beautiful place for them and us. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Ms.
Yes,
Pravina.
ma'am.
I really enjoyed my time here.
Thank you so much. I'll end the
Thank
session
you.
now.